Hey, what up, family? What's going on? It's Todd from No Picks Podcast.
Hey, good evening, family. Joe checking in, No Picks Podcast.
All right, so check it out, family. Today we have excerpt from The View. It's actually the first time we ever reacted to any of their content. But yeah, we got a little excerpt from The View, and Whoopi Goldberg has some choice words for anybody even thinking about voting for Trump in this next presidential election. So we're gonna play the clip and we're gonna react to the content. All right, so let's check it out.
Is that people's faith in the country is waning.
Yes.
That's the thing that's pissing me off, because in fact, there's a reason Joe Biden ran the way he did. There's a reason he's running for democracy now, because that's really what's at stake. You worried that you can't pay your bill? Wait till the other guy becomes president, and you won't have to worry about it because you'll be in some camp somewhere, because that's his promise. His promise to us is he's going to force people to do his bidding. That's what he said. I'm going to be good on day one, and I'm going to turn into this other person. So here's the deal. This is all up to you. This is all up to you. We can sit up here till we're green in the face. But this really comes down to the people. What is the country you want? Do you want the country that you kind of thought you had, where we all get to say what we think and we don't have to be afraid of being American? And believing that, yeah, there will be people who come in and some will get in quick and some will take a different route, but they're coming here for a reason, because they're living in a place that's not good for their families. If you're okay with that, you understand that, then fight for us to find a better way to make immigration work. Fight for that. Don't fight for keeping everybody out.
Interesting.
All right, so my question to you, Joe, is what do you think about what Whoopi had to say?
Man, once again, nothing new. Trump is being painted as the boogeyman, right? Trump is the boogeyman, and the View is just an extension of that. What I would call an establishment narrative on Donald Trump, that he's the boogeyman, he's the monster, basically fear mongering, in my opinion, as well, trying to scare people or guilting or shaming or scaring them into picking a certain, to voting against a certain candidate. So, off rip, that's what I first thought. I'm just like, oh, okay, more of this Donald Trump bad, anything but Trump BS that I keep hearing. So. There's that, and I didn't realize towards the end she mentioned something about the immigrant crisis. So I don't know if this was like in a context of something else, because there was nothing else about immigrant. But anyway, off rip, that's what I had to say about that. Right. So what was your initial feeling about that?
Well, I had two thoughts, right? So one of the things she mentioned in the clip that we played, right, was the fact that she mentioned faith, right? Like, oh well, like where's your faith in America? I don't think people have faith today. Like I think it's just like the America, like the America that we thought of as the idea of America in the past doesn't exist anymore. So people don't think of, like, I don't have faith. I don't have faith in Biden. I mean, I don't have faith in the Democratic Party. I don't have faith in the Republican Party either. But my thing is this. At least for me, the difference between the two groups, the Democrats and Republicans, at least the Republicans are like, hey, listen, because I think they're both scumbags, right? Like, both groups are scumbags. like for real, like real rap. Like I'm gonna just throw out there, like, be honest about how I feel about it. They're both scumbags, and I didn't always feel this way, right? I thought the Democratic Party was like a moral party, a righteous party. I thought they always stood, they stood on business. I mean, like, I always thought that, but the older I get, the more I see. It's like they're not, like, they're scumbags. They do behind the scenes, insider trading kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like they do the same thing. Both groups, to me, both groups are scumbags, right? So, but so just take Trump and Biden, right? So you got Trump, you got Biden. Biden pretends not to be a scumbag and be like, hey, you know what? Just I had nothing to do with my son's dealings, X, Y, and Z. Trump's like, listen, I'm a scumbag. I'm going to tell you I'm a scumbag, and I'm going to behave like a scumbag. I can respect that.
Yeah.
What I don't respect is the scumbag pretending to be like Mother Teresa. That's what I don't like. That bothers me. You know what I mean? And it's like you're insulting my intelligence.
Right.
You mean? So the other thing I wanted to mention was the scare tactics that will be used. Oh, well, you gonna be in camps and blah blah blah, bro. Yeah, she mentioned that. Oh, you gonna be in a camp? You're not gonna be able to have an opinion, bro. Joe, let me ask you before I even say what I wanted to say about the scare tactics. Can you think or remember an election to where a Democrat didn't say that about a Republican? Just think back your whole life before you were able to vote. The first time you were able to vote was before Obama, right? Because that's the same. We're the same age.
Right.
Before that, if you ever paid attention to politics, do you ever remember an election to where a Democrat didn't say, "Yo, hey Democrats, if you don't vote for me, that Republican dude will have you in chains in some way, in some metaphorical way."
Right.
Like seriously, like you let me know, like because
No, yeah, I mean it's they're creating to their base. Those who are already going to vote Biden no matter what are already there, but she's trying to try to get a couple more voters in and try to scare them into voting for this. But no, they say that every election, bro. Every election you hear it. So yes, that is facts. That is facts, and it's interesting because, well, first of all, we want to announce the Trump train is moving. Right, he won the Iowa caucus today. Voting has officially started. The Iowa caucus is the first, the rounds of voting that happened in the country. He won. So the Trump train's already, he already has those electoral votes, however many they may be, but the Trump train is moving. Nikki Haley come up at 90%. Granted, this is a man who has not attended any of the presidential debates. None. He hasn't been in any of the debates to defend his stances, to fight, to argue, to do whatever, and he's already winning and ahead in polls. So this is Trump is like, I don't know, bro. He's something else, bro. Like,
right.
but yeah, it's the scare tactics, and I agree with you. Both sides are. It's the same. It's two sides of the same coin, right? And you're right. I think that the Republican Party is much more. They own their shit. I'm gonna own. If we're bigots, we're gonna own it.
Right.
Where if we're if we don't care about poor people, we're gonna own that. If we don't care about this or whatever it is that they believe in, they own it, and then they all get on the same page.
Let me ask you something. When you thought about Republicans, let's say back in college, because that's when you were the most indoctrinated, right? Is that fair to say? Right.
Yeah.
So when you thought about Republicans back in, graduated like 2010, right? As we graduated college. Let's say 2008. Let's say 2008. When you thought about Republicans back then, right? Did you think of Republicans as like these like in the closet boogeyman? So a tactic that I noticed that the Democrats used to use to kind of paint Republicans into this like very unfavorable light is when something racist happens and the person is a Republican. And they will kind of like, well, you listen, like you kind of make you feel like, yo, I gotta identify with the Democrats. It's like, damn, like remember the whole thing happened in Charleston?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that dude, he got in his car and ran over a bunch of people, whatever, some black and white, whatever. But it was like
I remember.
He was a Republican. He identified with Republican politics, and it was like they all painted together, like basically like you gonna support a party that he belongs to,
right?
So it's like you and I kind of, I'm sure you and I felt the same way about it. We look at it like, of course we're not going, whatever he believes, we're going to believe the opposite.
Right.
But the same thing can be said about the Democrats, right? Like there are some radical things that Democrats believe. And I don't like, and Republicans try to tie them into being like, okay, well, all the Democratic Party must believe, oh, well, there's a million and one genders. So like all the Democrats believe that, right? And like, that's also ridiculous, right? So like, I think that what it boils down to is just like the reason I thought negatively about Republicans back then, and you tell me if you agree. The reason I thought negatively about Republicans when I was, in college, is because the Democrats did a really good job of saying, "Hey, this person's a racist. This person did X, Y, and Z to the black community. This person said these bad tweets about black people, and they vote Republican. They say, oh, we love Trump, or not. Obviously, it wasn't Trump back then, but who was it? We love Mitt Romney." They'd be like, oh, well, we do all these racist things and we support Mitt Romney. So then you kind of equate it in your head like, oh, if I support Mitt Romney, that means I support all these white racist people, which is not cool. Like you agree with that, or is it like, or am I tripping?
Well, no. Well, I mean, that's the problem with sometimes with blanket statements, right? We know that all Republicans, voters or Republican proud members of the party, don't think alike, right? They're not a monolith. You can't just say that they're all white supremacists or all racist or all. So no. So I don't think they should be doing that at all. So and I think that's foul. But yes, the Republicans were vilified, and one of the ways to do that was through using race, the term
Right.
race. Oh,
Yeah.
he's a racist. He's a racist. He's a racist. Um, but yeah, bro, it's all tactics, bro. Like I hate that they're scaring us, and the thing is, it's gotten worse now. So that happened before. We've been able to see that since we was young bulls. You know what I mean? Like, but now as we gotten older, it's gotten worse. Now Trump has he's basically turned everything upside down because now he's like the second coming of Hitler. He's democracy is at stake
Right.
at the ballot
Right.
this year.
Right.
If you want democracy, you know what I mean? Like they're going so hard and basically painting this man as a dictator. He's like Darth Vader or something right
Right.
now.
Right.
Like
Right.
that's how hard they're trying to go against this man. And it's like this is how we lost the first time around. You know what I mean? You're as a Democratic Party. I'm like, and listen, I think, like I said, both sides are shit. I'm an independent voter. If I have to vote, I will vote. I'm registered as a Democrat because we have a closed primary. Otherwise, I can't vote. Right? So
Right.
I'm registered, but I do consider myself an independent voter. But damn, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, they're trying to use the scare tactics with Trump and
Let me
trying
say
to
this.
scare us into doing that.
I voted for Hillary when he first ran. Right. Philadelphia voted.
Yeah,
I voted for Hillary. And I
vote
was
blue no
hard.
matter who.
No. When Trump ran against Hillary,
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
won,
oh yeah,
I voted for Hillary.
yeah.
I mean, like, so
Damn, really?
I'm not some, yeah, absolutely, 100,000%. I'm not some bull. I'm not some boy out here just like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna vote for Trump no matter what, bro. Listen, he great in this crazy world that we live in today. I think that it's not that he proved himself to earn a vote for me, right? Like that I'm anybody special, right? But it's hard for me to take Democrats seriously now because like I see the hypocrisy and shit now. So it's just like it's to me it's like it's rubbing me the wrong way because like I'm like, yo, I don't think y'all believe the stuff that y'all saying. Y'all just saying this stuff to win an
Right,
election.
right.
And at
And
least
that's exactly what they do. That's
right.
what they do.
So to me, I'm like, yo, you're a scumbag. Trump's a scumbag. But at least Trump tells me, hey, I'm a scumbag. And you know what? I'm a scumbag, but I'm gonna go hard for America.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure on a private side, if I gotta go to Russia or any kind of foreign government to make sure my family is richer after my presidency, cool. But yo, I'm gonna put America first in the meantime.
Right.
Listen, and I'm cool with that. Like, and Biden is like, listen, we not gonna do nothing. But his family over there doing all this shady stuff and all
Biden's
that,
done, bro.
and then
Biden's done.
pretending to be Mother Teresa. That's
Right.
just, and it's like you're insulting my intelligence. That's
Yeah.
why I'm like, bro, like I find it. Listen,
That's real.
I'm not voting for anybody, Republican or Democrat, that goes up into any of these not in one of these town hall, conversation kind of things, or go on Capitol Hill to testify in front of Congress in any capacity.
Yeah.
When they ask you, yo, can biological men have babies? If you can't say no or yes, bro, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm not voting for you because I don't trust anything you have to say out your mouth because you seem
Yeah.
ridiculous. You lose all credibility
Right.
with it.
Yeah, that's a hot topic, a controversial,
And
which
they
shouldn't be a
won't say it.
non-controversial question, but it is now. It's a yeah. No, I think that it's funny because when I think of someone like Trump, right? I think of like he's like the Agent Smith in the Matrix. So there was Neo, there was everything, but Smith was like one of the part of the villains, and then somehow became independent of the system
Right,
and
right,
said, "Listen, I'm gonna do what I want to do now, and y'all can't stop me." And Trump basically came into the game, completely funded his own campaign. His donors, of course, too, but he was already a millionaire, so he could fund his own campaign, and just wrecked it. Was
right,
saying things off script because he
right,
could. No one could. No one was gonna. They tried to cancel him. They couldn't cancel him. 50 plus women came out of the woodwork to try. They tried to throw him under the bus with cases. Like nothing stopped this man.
no,
So for me, he was like Agent Smith to the Matrix. The people didn't know what to do with him. Both sides didn't know what to do with him because Democrats are like, oh shit, he's
yeah,
very popular, he's very charismatic, he's killing the polls, like he could possibly win. And the Republicans are like, damn, has more charisma than any other candidate, and no other Republican can compete with this man. And you have to be able to win the people over. And Donald Trump has him. Self-made, he claimed. Self-made, he's rich, So Trump for me was like Agent Smith. He like they have no control over him, and that's why he also scares them too because they don't. They really
right,
can't hold anything over him. Like he doesn't even need your money. He don't need your bread. If he don't need your bread, he's good, and the people love him. So this has been so interesting, bro. But so Whoopi mentioned a part about something about moral decay, right? And I think that there's some these elections and how they keep going, especially the past like three, have been very interesting for our country, bro. What I do get a sense that we're in some kind of moral decay, and because like our country, like American trust in the government is so low, in the
Right.
media
Right.
is so low. You know, fake news, everything, all this stuff, like the trust in the media, trust in the government, everything is so low right now. And people are questioning everything with all the misinformation out there, all the bots. You don't know who you're talking to. You don't know what information is real
Right.
no more on Facebook getting disseminated out there. Like you
Right.
just don't know. So everyone's kind of confused. Everyone's upset at the system. Everyone's frustrated. So this is a perfect environment for someone like Trump to come in, bro, and really just win this. Now, I'm not endorsing Trump.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying I'm voting for Trump. I'm just saying, speaking, you got to speak real though. Like he has a huge opportunity to become the candidate and to probably
Right.
president as well, because Biden's numbers are tanking so much so
Right.
that Obama recently is like he's on high alert right now. He's like, yo, we got to get some people making other decisions on the team, on the campaign team. Like we need some energy. Like even Obama's reaching out and be like, yo, Joe, how can I help you, bro? Because y'all struggling right now. Like the poll numbers don't look good. So anyway, just yeah. So what do you think about this whole idea of like the country being in like a state of moral decay? Like we're just like not, you know, like how do you feel about the state of the nation? You know,
I
like
mean, I mentioned this before on one of the other pods, but I'll say this. Right. I agree that there's definitely some moral decay. I think the for me, like the most critical part of this whole thing is that like I think we have just too much time on our hands to worry about a lot of ridiculous things that other that would have never been important if other more important things were happening. Like when I mean like when 9/11 happened, you don't remember everybody coming out and just being up in arms about like petty things and making the news about like really really petty things. Not to mention anything specific, but we all know what I'm talking about. There's a myriad of things that you can point to and be like, listen, like I mean,
yeah,
how is this important? How is this news? It's news because we don't have anything more important to concern ourselves with.
right,
You mean?
right,
Um, so, I mean, that's to me. It's just. I think today our country are profiting from the blood, sweat, and tears of better people that happened that were born before us.
right,
Maybe they're old as hell now, or maybe they died. But our country benefits from this whole all the things that we say are bad today. All these people, with all these strong opinions that want to get people canceled and all that, they all
yeah,
benefit from. And I think that we're so far removed from hard times that we can concern ourselves with really really petty things and die over it.
right.
Like just
That's
stand,
true.
just stand our stab our flag on this hill and be like, listen, I'm cool with dying for this because this is all you have going for
Right,
you. You don't have more important things to worry about. Other people in the generations before us had real things to worry about. They had world wars. They had policy things. They had the civil rights movement. They had things that we benefit from today that we don't even think of. That we just think
right,
that we just take for granted. So I think we're a bunch of spoiled ass motherfuckers that don't have anything better to worry about, and we concern ourselves with insignificant things because we have too much time on our hands. And somebody got to eat the avocado toast. So I mean,
yeah,
I just think the world is different. But my thing with Trump, like I said, I respect Trump because I don't think, at least I don't, when I listen to him talk and I hear what he says, I know that when he becomes president, he's going to enrich his family 1,000%. He's going to make whatever connections he needs to make his family super rich. But guess what? Biden's going to do the same thing. But Biden's going to pretend that he's above it all.
right,
And then we gotta
right,
sit with, well, listen, well, when we point out, well, Hunter Biden did this, and Biden knew about this, and blah blah blah. Okay, well, okay, they're all going to do the same shit.
right.
The other guy is just going to lie about it. Trump's going to be right in your face about it and be like, listen, at least I kicked these migrants out. What more do y'all want from me?
It's so funny too, bro. So yeah, yeah. It's like when I think about the liberals or the left side, I'm like, y'all created this. Y'all went so overboard with cancel culture. Y'all went so overboard trying to push all of these like things about sexuality in our kids' schools and the literature that we're doing. Y'all went so hard to try to like do the Me Too movement. Y'all went so hard for political correctness. Y'all went so hard for so much, and then you guys started fighting each other, and then there was all the infighting and all the divisions within the left party, and then you guys all created what we have now. This situation once again that has created an environment where Trump can run and has a good chance of winning of being the president of the United States.
My
Like
God,
part of that is to blame
right.
on the Democrats, on the liberals.
1,000%,
You
1,000%.
know what I mean? They created this.
You and I both. Yo, I guarantee you, in 2008, you would be hard pressed to find a more liberal person than me, bro. Like I went hard. Like I was like, listen, nobody couldn't tell me Obama wasn't the. Nobody couldn't tell me that boy
You
was
voted
he
for
was the hottest
Obama?
thing smoking. Real rap. Like nobody couldn't tell me. I'd be like, bro, like listen. I remember there was a song out. I forget who. I think it was Jeezy, but whatever it was, whoever it was. It was like, yo, if my man become president, basically the idea. I'm paraphrasing. If my man become president, y'all take him out. Y'all got to take me out too, because I'm going. Listen, we like it was like, yo, we gonna listen. We gonna have a problem. And I fully identify with that. I'm like, bro, like ain't nobody taking my like. Listen, now I look at the Democratic Party in general. It's just like, yo, y'all look fucking ridiculous, yo.
Right.
And I'm still a Democrat. I'm
You do.
registered Democrat. I am still a Democrat, bro. But like, yo, it's
Right.
it's few and far between that I'll look at some press conferences and stuff like that, and I'll be like, this party makes sense.
Right.
Y'all look fucking
Those
ridiculous.
days are done. And it's funny because we both feel the same way, but I'm sure there's some overlap, but you feel that way for your reasons. And I feel the same exact way. But for me, it started hitting me when like not Bernie exactly, but you know I was a Bernie bro. Like I was I was a Bernie bro.
Yeah.
And they did him dirty twice.
Right.
So I saw everything that happened with the DNC, trying to get all the super delegates, all the controversy, all that shit. And then last year, with the last presidential election, what happened at the Iowa caucus, because the Democrats were the ones behind the voting and all the electronic stuff, everything crashed. There was glitches, blah blah blah. So listen, the Democrat Party, the DNC, has lost a lot of my respect too. They look, I do agree, they look like idiots. That's what I'm saying. They created this environment where it's like, yo, you guys basically gave Trump the election on a silver platter, on a silver platter.
And this is the part of me that I can't really get around, right? I don't think they believe 93% of the things that they say out their mouth. I don't think they believe it, bro.
It's just propaganda. They know it is.
Did you see when they were talking about the migrant crisis, right? We'll probably talk about that again soon, right? But when they talked about when AOC and there was another dude from New York, they went out in the public or whatever, and they were kind of like trying to have like a New York City on the street interview, right, with like reporters and like people, and they were getting in her ass. The people were like, yo, why are these migrants here? Blah blah blah. And she was just like, she like a deer in headlights. Like, see them she'd be like, because she's just used to people just being like on Twitter, like, we love you, girl, like retweet, like retweet. So she went out there and she started talking to the real people from New York, and they like, yo, like, we don't want this. She looking at them like, let me get back in this building. Let me get back in here and get some avocado toast. She like, I'm out of here. Yeah. Like, yo,
she got pressed.
Like, it's a slap in the face. I think I don't think they believe this stuff. I think it's a way for them to get rich. And like I said, both Democrats and Republicans, they're all rich. They don't give a damn about us, either one of them. I don't like. Right. This is my opinion.
Right. I agree with that.
They don't give a damn about us, either one of them. But the Democrats are lying to us, bro. Like they're just looking at you in the face and being like, okay, cool.
Right.
We care about all these petty, insignificant things y'all care about, and we will die on this as long as it gets us reelected. And the Republicans are like, listen, we're scumbags, and we will change our opinion based off how we feel, but we're going to tell you that we're scumbags from the rip.
Right. And they will.
That's why I respect them more.
Yeah. No, me too, bro. And I've said that for a while too. Like, I respect Republicans because at least they're outright with their blatant either bigotry or their classism. Like, they're very open about it. They're like, no, this is who we are. This is what we support. And you know, and they own it. But the Democrats do. They hide behind the identity politics. These moral platitudes that they try to set up, and it's just like, y'all are just full of crap. Because economically, y'all vote the same way as Republicans. You know what I mean? They all vote the same when it comes to corporate stuff.
And you know about that there's a question that Republicans that news outlets keep asking Verswamy. How do you say his name?
Vivek.
Vivek Verswamy, right?
Shout out Vivek.
Right? They keep asking them, hey, do we have a white supremacist problem in America? Right? They keep asking them that every single time I see. They be like, hey, they be like, yo, no, we don't have a white. So be like, yo, like, listen, I'm against all forms of racism, not just white supremacists. He's like, but yo, like, no, I don't think we specifically have a white supremacist problem. I don't think there's, people riding around cars trying to hang black people. I don't think that's the case. He's like, but I'm against all kinds of, extreme racial stuff. And they're like, okay, well, whoa, forget all the other cons, but do you not think we have a white supremacist problem? He's like, yo, y'all keep asking me the same questions. I keep saying no. Like, no. I'm against all of that shit. Like, stop asking me that. If it's against if against an Indian person, if against a black person, if against a white person, I'm against it all. I'm not for any of it. But
that's intentional too, though, because he's a man of color. So every time they're trying to see if he'll fumble that question, and then they can just run with it, and like, you know what I mean?
And it's corny. And it's he's like, no, I don't think that shit. But I mean, we probably should wrap this up. I think we went a little long.
We sure are. So we will. But yeah, no. So it's a big night though. So I'm glad we talked about a little bit of Trump, because Trump just won the Iowa caucus.
Right.
The train is on the move, bro. So at this point, yeah, I don't know. I like Vivek. I ain't gonna hold you. I like Vivek.
Going for it, bro. Right now, today, who you go vote? Listen, No Picks podcast. We out there. We don't got no pick. So who you got?
Honestly, it's either gonna be Vivek. I'm gonna have to write him in if I have to, but I can't vote for Trump, bro. I just can't. Like, I can't live with that. So because I know it's not gonna be Vivek, I'm gonna say Vivek, and then depending on what if there's a third party, I might vote third party. I've voted third party for the past like 2-3 elections, so probably just third party, just to get more funding, see if they can get him into the presidential debates the following election. You know what I mean? Like, parties get certain privileges when they have a certain amount of votes. So. Right. So nothing exciting, but I can't. I know I'm not voting for Joe. That's why I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do though, because I'm not voting for Biden.
Bro, this might make me very unpopular on this channel, but yo,
how you doing for Joe?
Well, I'm sorry, bro. I'm going for him, bro. Like 1,000%. Like, I didn't tell anybody this, right? Last time I voted, who the fuck was it? It was something. I don't remember what it was, but it was like a year and a half ago or something. But I went in the booth. I put the sheet over my jaw, and I'm like, okay, I hate all Republicans, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't tell nobody this. First, I'm just telling you that I just hate all Republicans. I'm like, yo, like, listen, like, if the Democratic Party got to be fucking scared into being more reasonable, I'm here for it, bro.
You got to scare them.
You got to scare them.
But we're in such an interesting time right
now. Like, I identify with them morally. I identify with them financially. Identify with them in a lot of different things, but I think they have become the party of ridiculousness.
I know. So then I gotta ask you, bro. I have to ask, because we've been talking about who we're gonna vote for. So, when you vote, do you feel like you should have any accountability in what happens with that administration? So, for example, I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I voted third party. I didn't care. I was a Bernie bro. They fucked him over. I didn't vote. So let's say, for example, the war in Israel and the Biden administration, how they supported Israel and everything that it was doing. You know what I mean? I feel like that's not on my conscience. I didn't vote for that. Some people voted for genocide. You said you voted for Joe. You didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But that shit fell underneath his watch. Yeah. So, like, do you feel like voters have any responsibility, or like should be held accountable for the stuff that the people that you put into office do? Because if you put Trump in office, anything that happens to this nation is not on you and people who voted for him.
I don't think of it that way. Like I said, because listen, I think if you participate in the electoral process, then I think you did what you did, like your for one, you did your civic duty, and I think you followed your heart to an extent. So any decisions that those people made, I don't think you have to wear it like a badge of honor or a badge of disgrace. I think it's like, okay, I didn't know they were going to do that. I didn't know they were going to support, let's say they support some kind of genocide somewhere. I'm like, bro, I didn't sign up for that,
Like, so Biden did horribly, right? And he fumbled the bag on multiple fronts. And he said he was going to pay off student loan debt. Didn't do that. He fudged on that. He said he was going to give us some stimmies. He backed out on that as well. He said he was going to give us $15 minimum wage, something that was in writing that we could legalize. That didn't happen. He said he was going to give us. Then we backed the war in Ukraine. We funded it to the tune of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. We backed Israel and what they were doing. Right now, Israel's currently going through court because South Africa is suing them for the act of genocide through the United Nations. You know what I mean? So my whole thing is, like, people who voted for Joe is like, well, this is what you got. you voted for him. Y'all put him in power. So everything he does, that's on y'all. This is who y'all put in. This is how representative democracies work. You vote for who you want. You put them in power, and then that shapes and affects policy. So how do you reconcile that? How do you detach yourself from all the shit that Trump might potentially do that tanks? If he tanks the fucking country, hypothetical. I'm not saying he will.
Right.
You don't think none of that shit falls on you and everybody who
I
voted
don't
for
think
him?
so. No, because we voted for.
What support voting for then?
But we voted for him on the pretense that, like, yo, you know what? He'll put America first. If he ends up not putting America first and he lied to us, then it's like, okay, nigga, I voted for you on a pretense that you would.
But is your decision informed?
You to.
But you don't feel like you have to make an informed decision. Like if you know the type of shit that he stands for, like when you know the type of policies he's trying to put in place, you don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm just curious because I if I could vote for Trump as a meme vote, and I knew that it wouldn't be like if he won, I would feel like crap if this country tanked because he was in office.
You can only go by what they say they're going to do. You never know what they're going to do. Just like when you mentioned, like, oh, Joe said he was going to wipe student debt out. We didn't know. Motherfuckers who voted for him was like, okay, well, I didn't know he wasn't going to wipe student debt out. We didn't know he was going to let the whole situation in Gaza happen. People didn't vote for that. So I don't like. I mean, now if he says, hey, you know what? I'm going to let Israel do whatever they want to do, and you vote for him, then yeah, I think you should be responsible for that. I think you should feel some kind of moral. You know, mean, like some kind of, there's to be a moral stain on you, being like, bro, like he said he was gonna do that, he let that happen.
Yeah,
it's like me, like if Trump said, you know what, I'm gonna let Vladimir Putin and Russia do whatever the hell they want, and I vote for him, and he let them do whatever they want, then I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I voted for that, and you know what I mean, that's on me.
I hear you. Okay, so that makes sense. I just like if you get ready to vote for him, bro, just get ready for everything that comes with that. I'm not trying to fearmonger, and that's for both sides. That's not just for Trump. But I'm like, you putting a lot of stock in this man, and he might actually mess around and win, and he's going to be running this country again.
I'm just hoping that he shakes up the fucking foundation.
He already has, bro.
He needs to do some more. There's these fucking Democrats.
I know.
Like, yo, you know what?
I know.
All right, maybe I'm a scumbag. I know that. Yeah, sure. But maybe I should admit that I'm a scumbag. And like, listen, if you admit that, then you got my respect a little bit more.
Yeah.
But like, I don't respect Democrats anymore, bro.
But you know, some people just want to see it all burn, right? So some people will vote for Trump if there's a chance he will win and just make the shit crash. Like there are people there who are like, F it. I hate this system. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna vote for Trump. If he wins, tear it all down from the inside out. Make them all fight each other. Make the rich people eat themselves. Like there are people who are like want to see it burn, so they're gonna cast a vote for Trump, hoping that might happen.
Listen, if he does, I'll ride out with it, and I'll be like,
"You gonna crash out with Trump,
bro?" Listen, bro, it's like because 4 million migrants can't keep coming here every year and being like, "Well, it is what it is." I ain't with that.
All right, so then we'll end on that note. Let's see what happens. Trump is already winning. He's already got the momentum. I mean, he's had it for a while now. You know, the poll numbers were over in his favor for a while. So Trump train is on the move. What do you guys feel about the current state of our country right now? Do you think Trump's going to win? Is that who your pick is? Do you think both parties are just scumbags? I don't know, family. Let us know what you guys think. Contribute, chime in. We'd love to have you guys engage with us. Yeah, so until next time, y'all be safe.